Jon Jones just dropped a bomb with a mysterious two-word message, "I'm done." Is the UFC GOAT really retiring? Fans are in total disbelief as this announcement shakes the entire MMA world. But wait, that's not all. The highly anticipated showdown with Tom Aspinall has suddenly taken a jaw-dropping twist. What does this mean for the heavyweight division? Will Jon Jones make a shocking comeback, or is this the end of an era? Stay tuned because this UFC saga is heating up like never before. Don't blink, or you'll miss the next BIG update. Hey everyone! Before we dive into today's explosive MMA news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop your thoughts down in the comments. Your support keeps this channel running and lets me bring you the hottest, most breaking updates in the fight world. Now, buckle up because what I'm about to share is jaw-dropping, and it's shaking the entire UFC heavyweight division to its core. Jon Jones. Yes, you heard that right. The UFC's legendary, enigmatic, and arguably one of the greatest fighters to ever step inside the octagon just dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming. Out of the blue, the UFC heavyweight champion hit the MMA world with a simple, blunt two-word message: "I'm done." Just those two words, but man, the weight behind them is colossal. Since his dominant victory over Stipe Miocic in November 2024, Jones hadn't stepped back into the cage. Fans were eagerly awaiting his next move, especially the highly anticipated unification bout with the interim heavyweight champ, Tom Aspinall. That fight was supposed to be the clash of titans, the moment where the heavyweight picture would finally clear. But now, everything's up in the air. The MMA community erupted. Social media exploded. Analysts and fans alike were left stunned, confused, and desperate for answers. Was this the end of Jon Jones' fighting career? Was the UFC about to lose its crown jewel in the heavyweight division? Questions flooded every corner of the fight world. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. After that cryptic announcement, Jones came forward to clarify. He's not officially retired, not yet, at least. Instead, he revealed he's taking a step back, a break to focus on personal growth. He said something that really hits deep. His identity outside the cage remains intact. He's enjoying life beyond fighting, exploring who he is when he's not Jon Jones, the fighter, the champion. Now, think about that for a second. This is a man who has built his entire life around the octagon. From teenage phenom to UFC light heavyweight and now heavyweight champ, Jones has been the embodiment of elite fighting for over a decade. For him to say he's focusing on personal growth, that's huge. It's a level of self-awareness many fighters don't reach until they're long past their prime, if ever. Jon Jones is showing a maturity and depth that we haven't really seen from him publicly before. But make no mistake, this decision, whether temporary or permanent, throws a massive curveball at the UFC's heavyweight division. The scheduled unification fight against Tom Aspinall, which was generating massive buzz, now hangs in serious doubt. UFC President Dana White, ever the optimist and fighter promoter, has assured everyone that the bout is still on track. He says the UFC is committed to making it happen. But honestly, with Jones in this uncertain place, can we really count on that? The heavyweight division is left in limbo. Aspinall, who has been grinding hard and proving himself as a legitimate contender, now faces a waiting game that could stall or even reshape his career trajectory. Other contenders are circling, sensing an opening, but the heavyweight throne is still effectively held hostage by Jon Jones' personal crossroads. Let's talk about what this means for the legacy of Jon Jones. We all know his story, the highs, the controversies, the comebacks. Jones has had a roller coaster career filled with brilliance and setbacks. But one thing's undeniable, he's one of the most gifted fighters the UFC has ever seen. If this break turns into a retirement, the sport loses not just a champion, but a cultural icon, a fighter who has defined an era. But if it's just a break, a chapter in a longer story, what could the future hold? Could we see a re-energized Jon Jones returning to the cage, maybe even moving to new challenges or weight classes? The possibilities are endless and the speculation is already running wild. Some say this is Jones' way of taking control of his narrative, of stepping away on his own terms rather than being forced out by injury or decline. Others wonder if this is the calm before the storm, a hiatus that will eventually lead to a shocking comeback. Jones is nothing if not unpredictable. Now, while we digest this bombshell, let's also consider the impact on the UFC as an organization. The heavyweight division is one of the most marketable in the sport. Big names, big personalities, and huge fights that sell pay-per-views by the millions. Losing Jones, even temporarily, creates a vacuum that's tough to fill. Dana White and the UFC brass have some serious decisions ahead. Do they push Aspinall into a different title fight? Do they elevate another contender or set up a tournament?